Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally here to film my monthly budget video for the month of August. There is definitely going to be a lot of changes to my budget specifically in this month because, as you guys may or may not know, I am moving out with my boyfriend Paul into a new apartment. And so with that comes a lot of expenses. And I do want to mention that if you guys have not checked out my kind of moving out budget video, that you definitely do, because a lot of the expenses that I will be having for this first month of me moving in are accounted in that budget. So I'm still just going to budget the regular things that I budget for, like my cash envelopes, my car payment, subscriptions, student loans, and all of that. But there will be a change, of course, in addition to my rent. I also will be noting down my utilities, which, since this is the very first month that I'm going to be in my new apartment, I don't know exactly how much it is that I'll be paying for things. So I think I'm going to try to estimate for some things, and then for others I'm just going to leave blank, just because it's the first month and I have nothing to go based off of. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and let's go ahead and get right into it. I typically do all of my mock budget spreads in this softbound notebook from EC. I've been having it for over a year now, and I'm past like the halfway point. But I will try to link this down below if you guys are interested. Of course, you don't necessarily have to do it in a little notebook. You can do it in a notepad, on a piece of paper, anywhere really. But I like to create my mock budget before I go into creating the monthly budget that I'll be having in my budget planner, just because creating a budget definitely takes some time, especially if you are going to be adding new expenses. So these past couple of days I have been kind of buckling down and kind of seeing what the averages for different utilities are, and also new cash envelopes that I can add into my budget, which I will be adding a main one this month. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, I feel like I've been saying that forever, but I'm going to take you guys to the August section. This is a Plum paper monthly planner, by the way, if you guys are wondering what it is that I'm using as my budget planner for now. And this is the note page that comes in every single month. I think I will be setting up this page when I stuff my cash envelope, so make sure you stay tuned for that video. And then just a quick little sneak peek, I have been setting up my savings tracker on this page, so that's kind of what's going to go in here. This is my monthly view, which I will also be setting up in that video. And then on the right side is where I'll be setting up my budget spread, which is the spread that I'm setting up today. And then next to it, I'll have my variable income spread. So I pretty much have all the stickers that I'll be using for the next couple of days. And I'm going to pick, I'm going to go with the rainbow leopard print that I have here. I also had a floral print, but I don't know what it was about this. I think it just had to do with the fact that this had pink in it, and pink is one of my favorite colors. So I'm going to go with this washi kit alongside the variable and fixed expenses budget kit. If you guys are interested in any of the stickers, as always, there will be a link for my shop, Romina Rosa, down below, where you can check out these stickers. So I'm going to jump right in. I do think I'm going to white that out. I think so. So really quickly, just go. And I'm just gonna go along this first line. Like so, perfect. And then I'm gonna take my August budget script. I've been wanting to use my Neutrals collection budgeting kits, which you guys know that I came out with a couple of months ago, but I don't know what it is. Every single month I'm like, no, I don't want to use the Neutral collection because I really like this print. And you guys know I'm all for leopard print, so I definitely wanted to use this. So I just laid down my income header here. So the incomes that I have coming in are, I receive a paycheck from my sticker shop, Romina Rosa. I don't necessarily count every single dollar that comes into my shop as my own, just because I don't know if you guys know this, but both of my sisters are currently working with me, so I do have to, you know, set aside some money to pay them, as well as I have savings for future either investments or projects that I want to create in the future for you guys. And so that is kind of the main reason why I separate my finances from my shop's finances, and why I don't keep track of it all in my planner, because I know I've gotten a couple questions about that. So I have Romina Rosa as my main source of income, and then my second source will be all of my variable sources. So that being YouTube, Patreon, and any commissions that I may receive from like affiliate links and whatnot. So that's gonna go right there. I also plan on selling quite a few of my things. I think by now my DStash Instagram account should be up, so I will go ahead and leave a link for that down below if you guys are interested in purchasing any like planning items or just anything really. I think I'm gonna end up selling my A5 planner, as well as just other things that I'm not necessarily going to be using, and I don't plan on giving away because I do have like a giveaway pile. So if you guys are interested in checking that out and you guys like getting discounted things, go ahead and check that out. I believe it's just going to be Romina Plans DStash on Instagram. So that is going to also be included in the variable income source page, which is going to be right next to this. So I'm just going to break that up with some glitter washi. Super cute. And now let's go ahead and move on to my variable expenses. So let me go ahead and take a look at my mock budget here. And so the first expenses that I'm going to be having in my variable expense side are going to be my cash envelopes. As always, I'm going to be having groceries, and I think I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to write down all of my expenses, and then I'll go into more detail as to the budget I'm going to be setting up for them. So my first cash envelope is my groceries envelope. Then we have eating out. We have my gas for my car. I also, as you guys know, like to have an allowance for myself, because I think that you should definitely always treat yourself, unless the income that you have doesn't allow you to do that. But if you have some wiggle room around there, I think it's very encouraging to have an allowance for yourself, and it definitely keeps me motivated to just stick to my financial goals. And it also limits kind of what you're spending over the month. Aside from my allowance, I, as you guys know, have a beauty cash envelope. I am going to be getting eyelash extensions. This is going to be just a little bit higher than it's been the past couple of months. And as you also know, I dye my hair red. Although I do that myself, so that definitely brings the cost down in comparison to me getting it done. And then a new cash envelope that I'll be adding this month moving forward is going to be, you guys may already have seen this coming, a household cash envelope. And this is going to be, of course, just things that I'm going to be needing for the house. As of now, I am going to be budgeting quite a bit of money here, but not too much, just because, like I mentioned, I have some categories like miscellaneous for the different rooms in my apartment in my moving out budget. But like things like cleaning supplies and, you know, detergent, soap, and all of that, I do want to get it out of my household cash envelope. So all these 6 are my cash envelopes. And then moving on to other bills, I have my phone bill, I am going to be taking care of the internet. So that is what I'm going to be paying. As you know, I'm moving out with my boyfriend, but we have decided to split the bills. And so I am taking care of internet, as well as I'm going to be taking of the electric, which we went ahead and checked, and there's a few different services that are within the electric, at least the way that they have it set up here. And that's for the electric, it says paramedic, sewer, and garbage. So those are the 4 things that are included in the electricity bill. But I was also informed that I'm going to have to pay that every other month. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to include it in this month per se. And since it is the first month, you know, that I'm moving in, I'm not 100% sure, but I will definitely skip a line just in case that ends up happening this month. Then I'll go ahead and add it. But with moving into a new place, it's kind of hard to get an accurate number, especially when you don't have, like I mentioned, something to go based off of. But that's kind of the bills that I'm going to be taking care of. And then he's going to be taking care of the rest. So gas, he's going to be taking care of water, and his part of the rent. I also will be having a category for renter's insurance, which is only a couple of dollars. I actually thought this was going to be a lot more than it is, but I asked for a quote to be sent to my email, and I'm still waiting for that. So I think I'm going to budget the unofficial quote that they gave me prior to the email that I'm supposed to be getting. And if anything, I can always white it out. I don't mind, you know, that's what this is for. It's fine. But I will be having that new category in my budget. And then last but not least, I will have an unbudgeted category for any unbudgeted expenses that aren't within any of the categories in my budget. And so, okay, let's go ahead. I think I'm going to, like I mentioned, skip a line. So, and then we'll get into the budgeted amounts. So for groceries, I am going to be budgeting a little bit more for my groceries, but what I've done is that I don't want to increase everything a lot. So what I've decided to do is take some money out of what I typically would budget for eating out and put it towards groceries. So groceries is now going to be getting, or at least for this month, it's going to be getting $260. Of course, Paul will be helping me out with buying groceries and whatnot, but I just thought since this is our first month moving in, that we would definitely be spending a lot more on groceries than I typically would. And even if he's helping me out, I think it would be good to have a pretty good amount in there. And like I mentioned, I'm taking some of the money from what was my eating out cash envelope before. So for eating out now, that is getting 100 instead of the usual 130 that I'm giving myself, because I plan on definitely cooking at home. I honestly don't mind cooking. I actually really like it. And I just feel like meal planning is just going to keep me so much more organized. And so I don't mind, you know, just budgeting $100 here and there every single month for eating out. Plus, like I mentioned, once again, you have to take into consideration that I'm moving in with my boyfriend, and I'm not really usually the person who buys food all the time for both of us. So that should last me for the whole month. Then we have gas, which I'm going to budget $80 like I did last month. I do plan on going back and forth between mine and my parents' place, just because I do think that I will be taking care of my little brother, and so $80 should be fine since I went on a trip last month and it still ended up lasting me throughout the month, so that should be a-okay. Then for allowance, as always, I'm giving myself $100. I could definitely give myself more if I wanted to, but I think I've created a perfect system where $100 worth of allowance is perfectly fine for me. And then I also, you know, have my beauty cash envelope and even a like clothing sinking fund. So definitely see how much it is that you can decrease your allowance cash envelope, but also think about other categories or other ways that you can save money for things you want, like clothing. And like making a sinking fund for that was like the best decision that I made. So that's what I'm getting for that. And then for beauty, I am going to be getting, I think, $15 more than last month. I'm going to be getting $175 for beauty. And once again, that is because I'm going to be getting lash extensions for the first time, and they do cost quite a bit. So that should be good for that, as well as for my hair dye. And then for household, I think I'm trying to really see. I like to watch different videos and kind of get an idea of what it is that you guys like to budget for different categories. So if you guys have a specific amount that you budget for household, please let me know in the comments down below. But for this month, since it is the first month moving in, I'm going to be budgeting $150. And I hope that's enough. We'll see. Next, for phone bill, as always, I'm going to be budgeting $110. For internet, I think with the installation fee for this month, it should come out to $80. And I was kind of debating if I wanted to get cable, because I believe if you get cable with internet, it's a lot cheaper. But then I really thought about it and I was like, we don't really have a big TV to watch cable, and I'm not really a cable person. So I think I should be good with just internet. And then for renter's insurance, I got a quote for $11 per month for renter's insurance. Let me know how much it is that you pay for renter's insurance. If you do, if anything, I'm going to adjust this as the months go by. But I think the quote was around like 10 something. So I'm just gonna budget $11 for renter's insurance. And then from budgeted, of course, I don't like to budget anything. This is just a placeholder for, once again, any unexpected expenses that I may have throughout the month. But that is the variable expenses side. And now for the fixed expenses. Maybe I should move it a little bit more so I can kind of match where it's at. Or maybe I should look at this way. Okay. Alright, so for fixed expenses, the very first one that I have is rent, which definitely has increased by double. Yeah, so now for the apartment that I'm paying, my part of the rent is $800, which is very doable considering the fact the one whole room is for my business alone, and I'm not even paying for half of it. So my part of the rent is $800. Next, I have car payment. So fixed expenses are expenses that do not change within the month. So like cash envelopes, I could either end up spending less, never really spending more just because it's the cash envelope, but like for phone, sometimes it's a couple of dollars more, a couple of cents less here and there. But things like my rent, car payment, they're just numbers that do not change. They're fixed amounts. So for car payment, I am $348.06 every month. For subscriptions, this is for my part of the Spotify family plan that I am under with my sister, as well as for iCloud storage. That is a total of $6.99. My student loan minimum payment is, as always, $130.77. For tithe, that is $150. For sinking funds, which I will be having a sinking funds setup and stuffing video coming after this one. For that, I am doing $890. I think I'm running out of ink here. Okay, had to get another pen here. So $890. And then the last category that I like to have here is an extra debt payment section. For the extra debt payment that I'll be putting towards my student loan, which is the debt that I am working towards paying off now. So now that I have all of those, I'm going to lay down my total, and I think I'm also going to skip a line for this. Like so, and then after this, I will have my total section. So I like to also have a total section in my monthly budget where it is that I put my estimated and actual income minus my variable and fixed expenses, and whatever I have left over is what. So the 3 to 6 month emergency fund is what I'm going to be working towards now. So like I mentioned, we have income minus variable and fixed expenses, and then we'll go ahead and lay down this balance header, and then I do have this squared pattern box where it is that I put my savings amount, which is totally crooked. That's a little better. And then I'll just lay down the deco little stickers that I have here, just to make it a little bit more cute. So now that I have those there, I'm pretty much done. So let me go ahead and make my lines really quick and come back to add all of these totals up. All right guys, so I've made all of my lines here, and I'm going to now add all of my totals. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to write them down here. I typically write my variable expenses, but like I mentioned, I will potentially have an electricity bill. So we will see, but I'll just go ahead and add everything up just so you guys can get an idea. So we have 260, 100, 80, 100, 175, 150, 110, 80, and 11. That is a total of $1,066 for my variable expenses. And then for my fixed expenses, I'm just going to go ahead and add everything up in there so you guys can see the total amount that I am budgeting for. Rent is $800. Car payment is $348.06. $699 for subscriptions. Student loans is $130.77. Tithe is $150. And last but not least, we have sinking funds. So the total budgeted amount for all of my expenses is going to be $3,391 with 82 cents. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, and it is true. This is the most that I think have had to budget for in a month. And the main reason has to do with, of course, I've moved into a new apartment and have to pay more rent, utilities, and have to up a couple of my cash envelopes, as well as add a new one. But all in all, I'm very happy and very thankful that I will be moving into a new apartment, and I'm just really glad to kind of show you guys the process and for you guys to see all of the content. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. As always, super thankful to you guys, because you guys are the main reason that this is all possible. I feel like I'm always cheesy and tell you guys how much I am thankful for you, but it's really true, and I would not be here if it weren't for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please do not forget to hit that thumbs up button, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already and would like to see more moving out content. And hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.